Okay, I'm going to move on. Now I'm going to talk about the Jew. Now, when you say Jew, once again, you have to ask which Jew. I shall explain. Okay, so when they say Jew, they say the Jews are French Protestants involved in things called just wars or religious wars. Now, they had their way in regards to the Bible and whatever they deemed was righteous.
Mm-hmm.
And this might offend some people, but there were other Jews other than the French. But I'll get back to that. The French Jews are the blacks that went to America, and they did very well over there. In fact, what I would like to say is, with these wars, their whole situation where they were put in exile was called an exodus.
Mm-hmm.
Which makes sense.
In the Bible.
Which makes sense because they are the Jews. So so we made it clear, a few things clear. There were white Jews and black Jews and coloured Jews, i.e. mixed race. So everybody that's been cussing and saying, no, there's no white Jews or Arkansas Jews, that's why I said to you, see this Jew thing, there's so many, and not only are there different levels of Jews and different eras of Jews, there are different Jewish. They're so Jewish till there's no Jew in there. And we'll get to that in a minute. Now, these Jews, back in the 1500s, 1600s, 1700s, when they went to various different parts of the world to try and get freedom and live prosperously, which they did in South Africa, but due to the apartheid thing, well, it wasn't good for them, was it? And in fact, that started off a lot of wars. Do you know what happened? The people that we class as Jews now, what happened as the years went on, because of the apartheid thing, they became Boers, Boers, who were the whites. And you know who is a great depiction of them? Indiana Jones. And they had wars, which actually are written about with Shaka Zulu.
Yeah.
Because, those Boers were actually Germans. Oh dear. They were. Now, what I will interject and say is that they were also German Protestants. And then there were, if you read this particular book, it says that there were French Protestants, German Protestants, and then there were Germans that didn't believe in anything.
Yes.
But then all of a sudden in the 1800s, a certain group turned up. So what you got to ask yourself is, which Germans? Not every German is a staunch evildoer. Do you understand? And
but
then,
even with all of this, you can see how the villains are always depicted as bad, wicked people, and not saying like to condone anything that they've done, but most of the time, the villains are the actual good people, or they're doing things for a certain cause which you might not understand at the time or get it, but once you put two and two together, it makes sense. And as you were saying about Protestants, German Protestants, Hitler was Protestant.
So let's just put a pause on that and let you think for a minute. So why was he angry and doing the things he was doing? Hold it. You guys think about it. So
what did he say in that speech before you committed?
Well, all I'm saying is this, right? First of all, a Jew is not necessarily the same as another Jew. Does that make sense? Yeah. And when, in regards to like even the 1500s, right, when all of this exiling of blacks was occurring, when some of them went to America, because it says, there's a few books I put up, but it says that they went there knowing that there would be people like them, Indians there like them, okay? Now, I'm going to be honest. some of these Protestant Jews, like I said about in the Danzig school, they were Jews. But when they went over there, they called themselves Calvinists. So you know all these black churches, you've got Apostolic, Calvinist, you got lots of different, but they were the Calvinists. You don't have to think about it that hard.
No,
They're
I'm just thinking about all the different types.
Right. That's what they did. But they did very well in the South. In fact, they were given like crazy acres of land, and they brought a lot of economic wealth to these places. You know, you talk about you could buy yourself out of slavery. Some of them had houses, the tenure and all that type of stuff. They were rich, weren't they? Right? They were wealthy, but they, because of these religious wars, because of all this killing, because of all the exiling, they had to take their things and go on. Now, the thing about the word Huguenot, I'll put it up there. It's derived from another word. I just put it up. And that word is a German word. You have to think about these things. Why does it derive from a German word? If not one German is a Jew, then why are they using a German word? Okay, right? And that word means oath.
What's the oath?
Now, the oath, if you read this book, you'll find out what the oath is. And that oath, it's not a good oath. But what you've got to ask yourself is this, and what I'll also say is, in one of our previous videos, was it What Do You Believe? Or Shall We Get Out? Should We Get Out? Something like that. We showed you certain things about the Torah. And if you look closely, they said this oath is practically identical to the oath towards Gentiles.
Which is who?
Anybody that's not a Jew by birth. Or hasn't taken on the faith.
And the faith that you're repping.
But this is what I'm trying to say. So when you say you're a Jew, what Jew? Because not all Jews are the same.
They're circumcising the little baby boys. I don't want to hear it.
But they're not just circumcising.
Yeah,
we'll put the video
yeah,
up.
Please, no, I don't want to see it.
No, don't worry.
I want to hear it.
I'm going to come back to that.